How's everybody doing? So, like everything else in the Jeep land, this started out with a $20 seal replace, and $6,000 later we have a Dana semi-float 60 sitting here to replace the rear axle that's clearly bent. So we're going to start working on that. We bought it with all the brackets tacked in place, so we get to realign those fairly easily, and then bolt this thing up. And we had the shop that we bought it from already gear it, so everything should be good to go. You have no faith in anything I do. This thing came right out like it's supposed to.
Here, wait till you see my tiny little zip tie solution. Here you go. Don't worry, I got plenty where that came from.
I'm glad you only
Plenty. You want some more?
Yeah, that's what I need. More.
Want tinier hands?
Because 4 of them together wasn't enough.
Is 4 in a row too many, or do you want... Oh no, see, I did a great job.
What'd you put 4 together again for?
I asked and you said no. Tech tip. When in doubt, more zip ties.
It may have been leaking a little. Just a little.
You're good.
We got some slack.
Yep, I think you did it. Wow, those are very stuck. There was a lot of grunting, little cursing, but it's out. I don't know if you can see. There it is. Parking brake's out. Moving on.
So what we did to get that parking brake out, we had to push on these tabs with screwdrivers going clear around. There's 3 of them. Once you got them pressed completely in, pulled real hard, and it slipped right out of the hole, that retaining hole. Not an easy job. One of them broke, where Seth helped it break. Either way,
I was testing its durability.
This is almost vintage. It's like a historic vehicle now.
It's code for rusty. Yeah, that's it.
Good.
We're worried about this brake line. It's going into this T right here underneath that track bar. I'm trying to figure out how to get that off. It's really bad. There we go. All right, we ended up taking the hard line off. You guys kind of see it sitting back in here. Maybe. There you go. So we were able to take the T off. We realized that the entire hard line just disconnects from the axle. We're going to go ahead and put it on the new axle. We should just be able to either tack some tabs on or run a couple bolts in to hold everything, and it should bolt right up. So after that, we went ahead and test fit the axle. These tabs you can kind of see are just tacked on. The pinion angle, these were kind of just set up as a starting point from factory, and we knew we were gonna have to move some things around. If you look at the old axle, it's out. You can see how different the pinion is just based on the upper control arm position. So now we're gonna go ahead, the pinion angle when we slapped everything in was about 25 degrees. So we're gonna go ahead and cut off the upper control arm mounts. We might do something with that track bar mount too. It was a little forward of where we wanted it, but we're gonna shove those forward about 22 degrees and test fit everything and see what our pinion angle is. All right, guys, so we went ahead and moved the control arm mounts about 25-ish degrees forward. We test fit it. We didn't show you that because it was super boring. went ahead and test fitted. That put us our pinion angle right at about 0 to 1 degrees. We'll adjust everything once we get in there with the adjustable control arms. We started to burn everything in, and then we just ran out of welding wire. So we're just gonna go get some more and get back after it. So some of you guys might be wondering why the upper control arm mounts are so far forward compared to the lower control arm mounts. You know, with most 4-link suspensions, the upper arms are 70-75% of the length of the lower arms. So you'd think they'd be on the same plane and be mounted in different places under the frame, but under Corey's Jeep, you guys can see the upper and lower arms are both share a mounting bracket. So normally the lower mount would be further back than the upper mount, but because they both started at the same point, the upper mount ends up coming up shorter than the lower mount by just a little bit. So we had to move where they attach to the axle instead of moving where they're attached to the Jeep. So just a weird kind of nuance with his specific setup right now. So we've got pretty much everything burned in. The track bar bracket, we've got to make a couple gussets right here, so we went and picked up some stock. Corey's over here tracing out the old axles mounts for the sway bar. We'll just go ahead and kind of make our own. We thought about cutting them off, but you can kind of see it's pretty difficult to get a cutoff wheel or a plasma cutter or anything down in there, so we'll just make a new one.
That's about right.
Perfect.
Just straighten that up a little.
That looks like Helen Keller did it.
Soften that.
Quality fabrication. Attacking a few gussets for this track bar. Man, that's a nice fit.
This one's not so much.
No, that one's a little gapped. Note that Corey cut these, not me. Oh yeah, that's gapped pretty good.
Touch.
That one's nice. Oh, we got a celebrity appearance. What's up?
What's going on?
All right, Corey's got everything welded up. We'll show you the pretty welds, not the farmer welds. We went ahead and made some brackets for the sway bar. I think everything's burned in and ready to go underneath the Jeep.
So I don't know if you can tell, but this coil bucket is extremely bent. And of course that bump stop that was added on by the previous owner, he bent that. I think he jumped this thing. So we're gonna take this bucket off, replace it. So here comes the next baby step in this transformation.
Yeah.
Oh yeah!
Now we're just
Now
ripping.
we're hitting something.
Now we're just ripping the inside of the frame off.
Yeah. Oh, I thought it came off.
I did too.
Come on. Why are you sweating?
We got a production going on here, all right, buddy?
I'm glad I have a support
Time is
crew.
money. Oh, let's go!
We got one left.
My good God. My shoulders are sore.
2 minutes of
I'm
fury.
fat.
That's what we were counting on. We needed that extra. Oh, come on.
There we go. We're getting there.
We've already patched the frame once. I bet you if you hit it, it'll fall off.
I think it's not. I think it's gonna get stuck further up in there.
Let's not see him hit it. Wait, go back the
You got
other
an
way.
extra drain hole in the floor now. Maybe try and twist it.
god.
That's all my shoulders.
You know, I'm gonna walk up here and kick this and it's gonna fall right off. I really just want to tap this once.
It'll fall off.
Yeah. Oh yeah, she's still on there pretty good.
Oh yeah. Maybe you could twist it.
Yeah, someone's got an air hammer sitting at their house. You know how you wanted to put coilovers? I can just punch holes in it and...
Now I'm trying to twist it.
Oh,
Somebody's big on this twisting motion. Now twist it.
there's the right way, and then there's the TBN way. Where'd my
Safety third.
BFG go? Well, we're in there now.
That's what she said.
Only 387 more whacks to go. See, the twisting thing's kind of working.
Why do you have safety glasses on and safety splints?
Yeah.
Double the safety. We already established safety was third.
What's second?
What do we say? Budget. Speed was always first.
I like that.
Yeah.
And here we are. Where's the air?
We have none of the
Impact
three.
hammer? Yeah.
Well, the time lapse might have caught it, but the normal video didn't. Bryce reached in there with 2 poles and popped her right out. So here's a new one. We got it up in place. We measured the angles, made sure it matched the other side. And I'm gonna go ahead and
So disconnect the battery.
weld it in. All right, she's all welded in, ready to go. Don't look too closely at the welds. Corey painted this up. We're gonna slap her in. So this axle he ordered with JK brackets. It was either JK calipers. It was either a JK or what was it, an Explorer. So we opted for the JK calipers and rotors. The rotors had to be custom drilled to a TJ bolt pattern because it's still 5-lug semi-float 60. We thought we were going to get lucky and the soft line and banjo bolt size would have been the same from TJ to a JK. The TJ banjo bolt is just like 1/100 of an inch too small to make a JK banjo bolt work. So we just went ahead and bought JK soft brake hose. We're going to reuse the factory T for the hard line off the stock axle, and we're just going to build new hard line from the JK hoses to the T. So that's what we're doing now. Okay, so we had to use the JK soft lines to get the banjo bolt, like I said earlier. We kind of had to come up with our own mounts. The JKs both have hard lines to each side of the frame. The TJ uses a T and then hard line on the axle. So it's still a TJ setup, but we had to adapt it to the JK. So we just hard mounted the soft line to the coil bucket, built our own hard line. And then when we slide the axle in so we don't lose, or at least lose the minimum amount of brake fluid, we'll go ahead and get everything hooked up in place, and then at the last minute we'll take off the T that's currently on the Jeep holding brake pressure, and then we'll connect these 2 ends to it. All right, guys, she's in. We went ahead and finished up that hard line, routed it over. We were able to reuse the factory T. Just kind of made a bracket there and used the JK soft lines on the calipers. Went ahead and pumped the brakes up, and we don't have any leaks, so that's a win. So we still got to tighten a few things up and make a couple adjustments to the pinion angle, but she's pretty much done. Well, she's on her own weight. We put he put, what were those, 4.5-inch rock crawler?
Yep.
Yeah, so it had 3.5-inch metal cloak springs in the rear, and he put 4.5-inch rock crawler springs in it. The Jeep has always had a pretty good squat in the rear end, and we actually threw a angle finder on the fenders, and it's 1.5 degrees, bulldogged a little bit, so it is looking good now. But that's about it. We got a couple things to adjust and finish welding. We got a new coil bucket over here. This guy's just tacked in so we could roll it out of the barn tonight, but it was supposed to come and Amazon let us down. But we got to drop the axle one more time, finish welding the new bucket in, and then it's done. We did have to replumb, as I fall down, we had to replumb the rear locker. You guys can see it's got the newer style bulkhead fitting on it. There's a nice swivel 90-degree fitting, but for whatever reason, it took the bigger air hose. So all the compression fittings did not fit the original size for the Dana 44. So we went ahead and reran the airline, got everything hooked back up. So she is pretty close to being done. How'd she drive?
Noisy, smells, it's perfect.
I was gonna say, so normal then. All right, guys, that wraps up the install. Corey took it for a test drive and said it drove great. Nothing fell off and everything held together, so that's always a win.
We'll wait till the trails to say that for sure.
We flexed it out with the loader. It's got about 35, 36 inches of flex, so we're happy with that. We gotta add a couple pucks for the bump stop, and otherwise she's ready to hit the trail. So thanks for watching.
See ya.